Good morning, everyone. I'm Emily Jashinsky, host of After Party and the Megyn Kelly Wrap-Up Show on SiriusXM Channel 111. It's Thursday, January 15th, 2026, and this is your AM Update.
People are going to be held accountable because you can't organize groups to go out and impede law enforcement.
Minnesota prosecutors resign over an investigation relating to the Renee Good shooting as the Trump administration vows to crack down on organized agitators.
We therefore still have a fundamental disagreement.
Officials from Greenland and Denmark meet with top cabinet officials to discuss President Trump's pursuit to acquire the Arctic island, leaving with little accomplished. The Trump administration overseeing a shift in the nation's immigration, not seen in half a century. And a Verizon outage affects thousands of customers, leading to questions about whether it was more than just a technical failure. All that and more coming up in just a moment on your AM Update.
A new year means new financial goals like making sure your savings are secure and diversified. Will this be the year you decide to talk to someone from Birch Gold Group? They use an educational approach with a deep understanding of macroeconomics. There are forces pushing the dollar lower right now and gold higher, which is why they believe every American should own physical gold. So until January 30th, if you are a first-time gold buyer, Birch Gold is offering a rebate of up to $10,000 on qualifying purchases. To claim eligibility and start the process, just text MK to 989898. Birch Gold can help you roll an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold, and you are still eligible for a rebate of up to $10,000. Consider making right now your first time to buy gold and take advantage of a rebate of up to $10,000 when you buy by January 30th. Text MK to the number 989898 and claim your eligibility today. Again, just text MK to the number 989898 to check it out.
6 federal prosecutors in Minnesota quitting on Tuesday amid internal pressure from the Justice Department to pursue an investigation into Renee Good's partner, Becca, an ICE agent fatally shooting Good last week amid a confrontation in which she struck the agent with her vehicle. Video of the shooting showing Becca shouting to Renee, quote, "Drive, baby, drive," as agents attempt to open the driver's side door. Among the departing prosecutors, number 2 in the DOJ's District of Minnesota, First Assistant U.S. Attorney Joseph H. Thompson, the leading prosecutor overseeing investigations into the rampant fraud within the state. Those investigations leading to the federal surge in Minneapolis that sparked the encounter. As AM Update reported earlier this week, Renee Good was an agitator belonging to a group called Minnesota Ice Watch, which encourages activists to insert themselves into law enforcement operations. President Trump earlier this week saying he wants to find out who is funding these groups. Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons Tuesday on Fox, confirming multiple agencies are investigating anti-ICE activist groups.
It's a constitutional right, go out there and protest. But when you have organized criminal gangs, which these are, that are organizing these groups to, again, impede or obstruct law enforcement operations, lawful law enforcement agents, enacting the laws that Congress has written, that's a criminal act. And I will tell you that Homeland Security investigations, my folks, the FBI, we're investigating these, and people are going to be held accountable because you can't organize groups to go out and impede law enforcement. It's a criminal act, and we have to act swiftly to, cause this from spreading.
AUSA Thompson reportedly also resigning due to the DOJ's refusal to cooperate with state officials in the investigation into the shooting. White House officials previously saying state investigators have no jurisdiction in the matter. Additionally, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche stating, quote, "There is currently no basis for a criminal civil rights investigation to determine whether the agent unlawfully violated Good's civil rights during the encounter." The father of Good's late husband speaking on Tuesday to CNN.
It's a hard situation all the way around. It's hard for for everybody involved. I mean, the ICE agent, at first I didn't see the footage where, he was actually, he was actually being ran. I mean, I seen the bump of the car hitting his legs. And so in a flash like that, it's hard to say how you would react. Becca, she's a great person as well. I mean, I don't have any many enemies. I love everybody, and that's what the Bible tells us: love our neighbors as we love ourselves. But I think there's some bad choices. I don't blame Ice. I don't blame Rebecca. I don't blame Renee. I just wish that if we're walking the Spirit of God, I don't think she would have been there.
President Trump Tuesday on CBS, echoing the sentiment and expanding.
I would bet you that she, under normal circumstances, was a very solid, wonderful person, but her actions were pretty tough. I've seen it many ways and many different shapes and forms. But the bottom line is, look, we have hundreds of thousands of murderers in our countries, killers. ICE is trying to get them out. They were let in through an open border policy of Sleepy Joe Biden. ICE is working very hard to get them out. Their job is being made very, very difficult. And, when you look at that tape, it can be viewed two ways, I guess. But when you look at the way that car was pulled away, there are a couple of versions of that tape that are very, very bad.
Meanwhile, the agent struck by the vehicle suffering internal bleeding to the torso, according to CBS. He has not yet returned to work. The agent's identity revealed in other reporting. Reporters are Tom Homan saying over the weekend, the agent is experiencing death threats. Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio meeting with officials from Greenland and Denmark yesterday to discuss the island territory's future. President Trump repeatedly stating in recent weeks his desire to acquire Greenland from the Kingdom of Denmark, refusing to rule out the use of force to get it. That prospect alarming fellow NATO allies who have indicated a willingness to step up defense cooperation in the Arctic territory as a compromise. The president remaining adamant yesterday in a Truth Social post ahead of the meeting that the U.S. must control Greenland. Quote, NATO should be leading the way for us to get it. If we don't, Russia or China will, and that is not going to happen. NATO becomes far more formidable and effective with Greenland in the hands of the United States. Anything less than that is unacceptable. Denmark's Foreign Minister Lars Løkke Rasmussen and Greenland's Minister of Foreign Affairs Vivian Motzfeldt arriving at the Eisenhower Executive Office building yesterday morning, departing less than 90 minutes later. Mr. Rasmussen striking a diplomatic tone while making it clear there is not yet a resolution.
We had what I will describe as a frank but also constructive discussion. The discussions focused on how to ensure the long-term security in Greenland. And here our perspectives continue to differ, I must say. The President has made his view clear, and we have a different position. We, the Kingdom of Denmark, continue to believe that also the long-term security of Greenland can be ensured inside the current framework. We therefore still have a fundamental disagreement, but we also agree to disagree. And therefore we will, however, continue to talk.
The official going on to say they have decided to form a, quote, high-level working group with the White House to explore some common way forward, then again stressing strong opposition to giving over Greenland.
It's clear that the President has this wish of conquering over Greenland. We made it very, very clear that this is not in the interest of the kingdom. There's a government in Greenland with support from 3/4 of the Greenlandic population. The Premier made it very, very clear yesterday that Greenland, for the time being and for foreseeable future, will remain within the Kingdom of Denmark.
Mr. Rasmussen also saying there is no immediate threat to Greenland posed by China or Russia, arguing the risk would only decline further as NATO allies increase their presence in the region. The first meeting of the working group could come within weeks, a timeline that hinges on President Trump's patience. Coming up, the Trump administration achieving something that has not occurred in 50 years, and a massive Verizon outage, leaving thousands of customers without service, and questions about what caused it.
Our sponsor, the Electronic Payments Coalition, says Washington politicians are always getting in your wallet, and that now they're messing with your credit card. They say your credit card and the security it offers are under attack, and that Senators Dick Durbin and Roger Marshall want to change the nation's payment system in a way that would benefit corporate megastores like Walmart and Target at the expense of everyday Americans. Credit cards can keep your payments secure, and they can provide rewards that families use to help make everyday purchases more affordable. The Electronic Payments Coalition says the Durbin-Marshall mandates would let corporate megastores cut corners on credit card processing, routing transactions over cheaper, untested networks with weaker security and fewer protections. Find out more at guardyourcard.com and consider telling Congress to guard your card.
For the first time in 50 years, the U.S. lost more immigrants than it gained in 2025, by anywhere from about 10,000 to 300,000 people, according to a report by the Brookings Institution. Brookings finding the leading contributor to the slowdown, a reduction in new arrivals via the southern border and humanitarian parole and refugee programs. The think tank warning the shifts could slow overall job growth, while not addressing potential positives of decreasing immigration often cited by the Trump administration, including reduced housing demand. Immigration rates climbing to unprecedented levels under the Biden administration as it effectively rolled out the red carpet for legal and illegal entrants. President Trump making immigration a top issue in the 2024 election. Upon inauguration last year, the president immediately taking action to effectively close the southern border. Mr. Trump in a mid-December national address touting the administration's success.
Starting on day one, I took immediate action to stop the invasion of our southern border. For the past 7 months, 0 illegal aliens have been allowed into our country, a feat which everyone said was absolutely impossible.
Brookings predicts 2026 net migration is likely to be, quote, very low or negative as well. Final government figures for 2025 immigration levels are not expected until later this year. However, it could indicate a much larger number of people leaving the country. Brookings estimating between 310,000 to 315,000 total deportations in 2025, and between 210,000 to 405,000 voluntary exits. DHS officials in December reporting much higher numbers in both categories, at 605,000 deportations and 1.9 million self-deportations since President Trump took office. Against that backdrop, the State Department yesterday announcing a freeze on all visa processing for 75 countries in accordance with the Immigration and Nationality Act, the department aiming to reject applicants likely to become a public charge once in the states. Countries on the list including Somalia, Russia, Afghanistan, Brazil, Iran, Nigeria, and Yemen. The pause set to begin on January 21st and continue indefinitely as state reassesses visa processing procedures. Thousands of Verizon customers experiencing service outages yesterday. Beginning around 12:30, outage reports spiking on Down Detector, a site tracking cellular service nationwide. Customers sharing online that their phones went into SOS mode, indicating the device has lost connection with its cellular network, meaning calls and texts do not work. Down Detector telling the website Mashable, quote, the impact is rated as very high, with users primarily reporting mobile phone failure, 59%, and a total loss of signal, 34%. The outage impacting customers nationwide, with reports pouring in from major cities and rural areas alike. Down Detector showing a spike in outage complaints from other carrier customers as well. Tech website Tom's Guide reporting those appear to be tied to interactions with the Verizon network. AT&T and T-Mobile saying their networks remain fully operational. Verizon remaining silent on the outage for nearly 2 hours before posting, quote, our engineers are engaged and working to identify and solve the issue quickly. We understand how important reliable connectivity is and apologize for the inconvenience. Notably absent in this and subsequent statements, any indication of the cause of the outage, some speculating it could be tied to Iran or another hack. While the Trump administration is currently weighing military options against Iran amid widespread civil unrest, U.S. officials have not announced any foreign cyber attack tied to the outage. That'll do it for your AM Update. I'm Emily Jashinsky, host of After Party. Catch The Megyn Kelly Show live on SiriusXM's The Megyn Kelly Channel 111 at noon East on youtube.com/Megyn Kelly and all podcast platforms.